what is your children's names?
Alani, Kimani, Kaden, Amaya, and Julian.
Okay. So when I say the children's names, what do they mean to you?
My heart.
Mm-hmm.
It's my heart.
Give me a favorite memory that you have with each child? Or a memory that you can think about, something.
Yeah, I had one with my firstborn. We went out to eat.
And which was it? Just
Alani.
Alani.
Yeah. So Alani was, there was a red balloon floating, and she was asleep. And when she woke up and she saw the balloon, she thought it was the most amazing thing she ever saw in her life. She kept, and it kind of hit me. Wow, I once used to look at a red balloon like that. It was amazing to see the wonder in her eyes, right, as a baby. And it kind of hit me like, wow, we all once had wonder over things and how quick we lose it.
What the what's that? Oh, I'm passing through the wave like a jet ski. I'm just trying to live, little mama, don't text me.
My name is Anton Henshaw.
I'm Dennis Febo.
My name is Eddie Pavone.
My name is Rolando Febles.
My name is Rafael.
Wally Palmer. Man, that's good. Paul what?
Boyd.
Paul Boyd. Okay.
My name is Dante Brown. But and growing up in the streets, I adapted the name Shells. So they call me OG Shells too. Yeah, OG Shells.
If you don't like the way I rhyme, that's alright, just sue me. Suckers always hating. I am so.
Hey, does your name have meaning?
My real name or?
I can ask for both of your names. Give me your real name first.
Dante. It got meaning to it because my mother gave it to me. So when I started learning about myself, I did want to change my name at a point, but because of the shit that we endured and that we've been through our ancestors and slavery. So I did want to change my name at one point, but it's just like, why change it? My mother gave me my first name. Why change my last name? I'm gonna change the meaning to it. I'm gonna create the narrative now.
Oh yeah, it's funny you asked that because nobody's ever asked me that.
Mm-hmm.
But my actual name is Edward, and being that I was born in Puerto Rico, there's not Edward. It's not a Puerto Rican name.
I get you.
And I asked my mom, like, where did you come up with Edward? And she told me that she loved the sounds of the name of all King Edwards. The name King Edward, and there's a lot of King Edwards in history.
The name means to me, it means my culture. I come from a Hispanic, Cuban culture.
Right now it means I'm an individual that's striving for something that is beyond me. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm okay with walking this path.
I'm actually named after my father's brother.
Okay.
My uncle, who passed away at a very early age. So it means to me as a memory or a celebration and a legacy of my father's brother.
Okay.
Who tragically lost his life. So my father and my uncle skipped school. And when they were living in Philadelphia, and they were playing on a railroad track. And my uncle took a metal pipe, hit one of the railroad tracks, and was electrocuted. And my father witnessed his electrocution.
My granny told me stories about my childhood.
Nah, my father wasn't in the picture at all. Single parent household. My mother was in back-to-back abusive relationships. So I had no choice but to see it. Mother got physical, verbal abuse, emotional abuse. My little sister father, he was just very abusive. He get high. But I thought it was normal because everybody that I grew up around, they was going through shit. Some people was going through worse. Some people, mother was a drug. So I'm saying their mother was a drug addict. So we go to their house, ain't shit It ain't nothing in the house. Ain't no food, nothing.
The fact that he has never dealt with that made him overprotective and over authoritative.
Okay. Overprotective and over authoritative. How so?
Yeah. He has this thing when it comes to harm. Like, if I can't get you to comply verbally, I'm going to be physical. And sometimes that physicalness was above and beyond what needed to be.
Yeah.
So my father didn't have it good. And he grew up and he wasn't a good father. You know, when we were young, he was mentally, more than anything, abusive. As time passed, you know, like I remember my mom couldn't take it no more. I was like 4 years old. I remember this. You know, like we came to the house and my mom took all the toys and just threw them on the floor and told us to play with them. And she literally took out 2 knives and told him, "Go ahead, take them from them now." And you know, he after that he was inactive. You know,
My childhood, unfortunately, wasn't. I didn't have such a great childhood. Not having a father in the picture. You know, my mother. Raising 5 kids by herself. If I could summarize my childhood from what I recall from it, is struggle and hardship.
Yeah, my mom was murdered when I was like 1.
Wow.
So yeah,
Sorry to hear
I
that.
never knew.
Okay.
Like family was conflicting with who would get me. People in my family on my mother's side, they didn't want to give me up to my father. So I was told. You know, I don't really remember like the specifics of it, but I was told that some of my aunts were against him taking me. So that was the story.
What do you believe this is? You know, what do you think happened? Do you believe those stories?
No, because like if you're the biological father, can't nobody keep you away. And if you're willing to be the father, nobody's going to keep you away.
It was just like, damn. People got fathers. Why you ain't here for me? What I do to you? Just like shit. Well, just like shit. Suicidal thoughts, all types of shit. Like, damn, what I'm here for? What you put me here for? What I'm here for? I'm here to be a loser. That's why I try to be so active now as a father with my sons playing sports and shit. Because I started realizing, like, the older the kids get, family's really not there for us. Like, that's why I got so heartless when I, started jumping in the streets and shit too, though.
Used to run away from home. My friends be like, "Go home, man."
Caden is his little quirks, his comedy. He's always been the same way. Like even when he was a little boy. Amaya was born fiery and red. She was born. I felt she was very strong and she was gonna be a very powerful person. And then Julian's the little knucklehead. So he's very strong, very independent. And one of my favorite memories with him was when he started walking, because he was really little. He was like just turned 9 months old. Yeah. But because he used to watch his siblings run, he wanted to be that. So one day he just got up and started walking like that. Blew my mind. With Kimani, I used to sing a lot to him because I was a stay-at-home dad with him. And I used to sing him to sleep every time. And one time I was singing a song, and sometimes you be going all in your feelings when you're singing, and I kind of hit this spot, and I was holding him. And when I sang the song, I felt like energy leave my heart, but he was on me, baby. And he took it and he gave it back. I started crying because I couldn't believe the exchange that was happening.
children. Do you have any kids?
Yeah, I got 3.
3 kids?
Yeah, man.
Congratulations.
Yeah, man, appreciate it, man. My babies, man.
Okay.
Sincere 11, he gonna be 12 in June. Nair 9, he gonna be 10 in August, and I got a 5-year-old. I just came from seeing my daughter.
Oh, how did you get those names first? Give me a story how you got the names.
Sincere, you know what's crazy? My favorite movie, Belly. That's one of my favorite movies. Nas played Sincere in Belly. And I was just like, I loved his character. Like, to this day, like, I'm like, you know, that was just like, oh, shit, one of my idols and shit. So, with Nair, he named after his uncle. His uncle had got killed. So, his name was Najee. Then her mother was just like, nah, we ain't gonna do Najee. We just gonna do Nair. Then we gonna do Nair because it rhymes with Sincere. And with Dakota, every day, like, what we gonna name our daughter? Once we found out we was having the daughter, it's like, what we gonna name? It's just like Dakota just stuck out like that. That's beautiful.
Well, Sean, we had to settle on. I can't remember. She had some crazy names. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't remember what it meant at the time. I still don't remember. I don't remember what it means, but I know I like the meaning of that name at the time.
You like the meaning.
Yeah, I like the meaning. I don't remember what the meaning was. Yeah. So I know I like the meaning of the name. I'm like, so I kind of just, once I settled in on it, I just kept driving it home. I kept saying, he's going to be Sean. He's going to be Sean. And he came out, so he was Sean.
Came out and he was Sean. Man, that's good. That's good. So what was... Now I want you to think back to the day when Sean or any of your kids was born. How did you feel?
For lack of a better word, it was a hell of an experience to watch a child come out of the mother and watch that whole process, and you're panicked there for like a minute or so because the baby's not making a noise. So you see how the nurses, they flip them upside down and they put these tubes in them and they're sucking all that stuff out. And for those 2 minutes, it feels like an eternity because you're like, he's not breathing. No, she's not breathing. She's not breathing. What's going on here? But then it turns out, once that cry comes out, it's a sign of relief, and it's just extreme
love for them that I really hadn't felt for anyone outside of myself in that particular way. And it was because with that kind of love that you have for a kid comes like an attachment and a bond that's different. It's something that I didn't even really have.
Never experienced again up to this point, to know that I created my beautiful child.
The first and the last are both named after me, even though she was the oldest. She's the girl. So her mother wanted her to be named after me. I didn't get to name her. Her mother made her. They wanted her to be called Tony, like her dad. My son, his mother did the same. My daughter Sierra, gorgeous. That's my baby girl. All of their names mean life. They spoke life into me in my most darkest moments. In that lifestyle, I was a power group leader, what they would call gang leader, and I was a drug dealer in the community that I grew up in.
Yeah.
I was 16. This was my first real trauma with them, and I went to take the Greyhound bus, and I'm waiting at the bus depot. This is in Manhattan, and I had these like Puerto Rico beads, like a flag of Puerto Rico and beads. And these 2 white cops run up to me, and he's like, "You get up with me. Get up." And I was like, "For what?" And he pulled out of his shirt, he pulls a badge. Right, he said, "Get up right now." So I'm like, "What?" I'm 16. He goes outside, he takes my bag off my back, and he goes, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "I'm going to visit my mother. I'm taking the bus." The other cop takes my bag, starts dumping everything on the floor. "You got drugs on you?" "No, but I do. At the time, I carried a knife. I'm a teenager in Brooklyn, New York. I got a knife in my pocket." So he goes, "Do you have any weapons on you?" And at the time, he's like, "Don't lie to me." Yeah, I have a knife in my pocket. So he took the knife. He goes, "Somebody told me that you've been walking around Port Authority menacing with a knife. I'm gonna charge you with menacing." In my head, I thought it was cool because I'd be Dennis the Menace. I gotta do comic relief. And then he was like, "I better not see you around here again." And as they started walking away, he said, "Wait a minute." He walked up to me and grabbed me by my private parts and started checking to see if I had drugs. And I felt so violated. I didn't even tell anybody it happened. I had to sit with it for a couple of weeks. Because when he did it, I felt grossed out in my heart. Like I felt violated.
Shit, I was in that jail my whole life. I put my first case at 12. So I was just in and out the U-Pile. I was 3 months here, 6 months here. Then I got sentenced when I was 15. What happened?
Yeah, what happened? Your own story.
My father was a pimp. He was a hustler and then telling me not to hustle. And I remember them taking us down there to see you. I'm gonna show them. I said, "My dad ain't no pimp." And they was like, "Yes, it did. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you where he be having his hoes at." So we went down to Admiral Wilson Boulevard, and sure as shit, my dad was down there with his hoes and this and that. And I cried because I was ashamed. And they were like, "What you crying for, man? You should be proud. Your dad's a pimp. You the son of a pimp." And I'm like, that was the most humiliating thing. And from that point on, I lost respect for my dad. I started watching my cousins. I started watching different dudes that I looked up to, and I learned the game from some people, and I took off from there.
Well, I mean, like for me, it was at some point, like when I was a juvenile, I used to take things from people. Like if I ain't have something, I used to, like I would, and I see something I like, I would take it. And I really didn't care what the person thought. And at that time, I was like probably 15, 16. I was stupid.
That was a point in my life where I was finally couldn't run away from like the things that were troubling me, my demons, so to speak. I don't know, I just didn't really have anything going on upstairs that was good.
But I loved ball. Then like when I was in grammar school, nobody was coming to my games. Got other kids, feel me? They star players, but they parents did. After this, I'm leaving out by myself. I still gotta get home too. I gotta walk past these corners, shooters, dope fiends. Know what I'm saying? Just like, yeah, I gotta get home.
The Olympic Games just to get home.
Right. Yeah. Then I just started like, fuck it. I ain't gonna make it anyways. Like, what percentage of niggas really make it? Then I don't got nobody. So just like once I started dipping, like some of the niggas, most of the niggas that I was around, they was already in the streets. Then I should be around them. After practice, I go outside, but I got my basketball. But I'm around them. They drinking, smoking. Then a lot of the old heads, they started like relating to me because I was so quiet. They used to be like, oh, started talking to me. So I looked up to them. I'm like, damn. Next thing you know, I'm hustling. Like that really just happened that fast.
So after my daughter died, I got in the car with some friends. They wanted to go handle a situation. On the way to handle the situation, an argument ensued with somebody that was totally unrelated to where we were going. And a young man innocently, and through the argument, lost his life. I literally got out of my car to get into a car and went with other people and shouldn't even been there with them, shouldn't have got out of my car or nothing.
So for me, I was like just minding my own business, but at the same time, I carry guns. Like I kept a gun on me, and so I'm with my boy in the bar, and like 5, 6 dudes just attacked me out of nowhere, and so as a result, I just lost control. I just started shooting. I ended up shooting my boy by accident. He died. I didn't even realize I had shot him because it never even dawned on me consciously until like later on in that day.
So, and that's why I tell people all the time, you can stand on it, but are you willing to pay for standing on it? And I paid dearly for standing on it.
When it comes to getting into it with cops, I mean, why did you get into it with the cops? I mean,
Because they're racist.
Do you think that, I would say all cops are racist?
No.
Or like majority?
It is a racist institution.
What do you think? Do you think that the prison system, or like the prison system in general, are actually helping out with the prisoners? I know there was a few examples you said when it came in, sometimes that the jail system saved their life because of the addiction. But do you think on a broad range, do they actually help out, or what's the...
Absolutely not.
For centuries, like, you know, Europeans have known this, like, and so like when during the times of slavery, that's why they separated families, because once you separate it, then you destroy it. You destroy that camaraderie, you destroy that community. And the same thing is happening today. You separate families through the vast prison industrial complex.
What was life like inside of there? What was it like your day to day?
I lived in hell every day.
Mm-hmm.
Dehumanizing, stress, having to survive.
Mm-hmm. Not living, but survive.
No, there ain't no living in there. Anybody tell you they lived in prison, they lie.
It could either make or break you, because it's all dependent on the individual, how you are, psychologically. If you're strong-willed, you will see the effect of it. But if you're not strong-willed, you may see the effect of it, and you may not see the effect that it's having, though.
Yeah. Then, when I was, as an adult, when I went to prison, I seen the nigga tell us, he was like, yo, put the badge down, put the button down, and fight me. The CEO was like, all right. They started fighting, he started fucking the CEO up. The nigga still pressed the button. I never seen a grown man cry so hard.
I would, to answer your question, I feared more the cops, the correction officers, because they could, and I'm not trying to exaggerate here, they could kill you and get away with it.
There were times where I feel like I ain't had no choice but to be emasculated because of what was going on. Like if an officer didn't like something I did, instead of him approaching me and telling me, I don't like that, what you did, he'll just come with him and 5 other officers and threaten you and tell you what you want to do.
I had a job one time where we had to clean up Trenton State Prison, the main one, the one where everybody that's doing life or above, like people that are never getting out. I saw a guy that he was banging on his, for whatever reason, he was banging on his bars, but the beating they gave him that I witnessed didn't validate. I mean, he was just making noise, and what they did to him was was just nothing. I mean, like he was literally carried away. I don't know whatever happened to him.
Yeah, you know him. He was arguing with one of the other, with another inmate, and he was just on some shit like, yo, you put your, cause they got, they got the mace, the button and shit, the emergency button. Like, put that shit down and fight me, cause it's everybody knows it's a blind spot. Like, fight me right here. So I bet you I'll fuck you up. He was like, all right, bet, come on. The officer started fighting him. He started getting the best of him. He grabbed the button, pressed it. Like once you press the emergency button, all the COs they just start coming. And shit, if you right there, nigga, when them officers come in, nigga, once they press that button, get on the ground. Because if you're not on that ground, they gonna come in there, they gonna think you got something to do, and you going on the floor too. So once he pressed the button, I'm like, man, I'm getting on the ground. My G, and they fucking him up. I'm like, they beat his ass. I got on the ground. Once some officers came in, though, the nigga was crying, like screaming, like he's screaming, like please, stop. They must have broke something, but then they carried him out. They had his legs tied, his arms cuffed, and they carried him like he was a piece of garbage. And they just I'm like, man, face so fucked up. I'm like, damn, this shit fucked up down here.
Slave wages, slave situation, slaves of the state. Wherever you go, wherever you find mass incarceration, you find slavery.
Because prison systems were designed for African American individuals.
It's the same hatred. Same hatred that's just festering and just puts you right back into that loop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's where they get to be what they always wanted to be.
When I was younger, what got my time? Reading hood books and gelling. That's it. At that time. So it's just like when I go home, I'm gonna fuck around and end up right back in this bitch anyway. So it's just like, but when I got older, when I was facing that 55 years, what got me through? Well, my grandmother always got me through on my beds too. But my grandmother always she sending physical letters, calling her, and she she got a lot of wisdom, so she always she thinks she's spiritual. She in church heavy, so she always prayed for me. I think that's what really got me through for real, the power of prayer.
I took stock of like what was wrong with me, like why do I think this way? I started journaling. I started doing those sorts of things because I had to try something to figure out like how did a person like me, not to say I'm better than anybody, but I just knew what I was blessed with. Like how did I end up in this place? And that's kind of where that's what I use prison for, to answer that question. You know what I mean?
Education. Most people, when they go in there, they think they know every fucking thing. So my prison father, Mr. Jerome Perkins, he acknowledged that. Like I was always asking him, like, fuck you care about me? Why me? He would always say, you different. And I was like, well, what does that mean? I'm different. He was like, you different. But I didn't see what he saw in me until years later. And one of the things that he taught about how to self-love is to be in service of other people. When you don't love yourself, you don't want to help nobody. And as you're growing through things and you're doing what you're doing in your work, it is to help others, right? And he would say, show me an apple tree that eats apples. Right? So when you look at it, do you see how you're smiling? Right? Do apple trees eat apples?
No.
They're in service of others. So the fruit you bear is not for you to eat. It's for others. And that's when I began to heal. That's when I began to grow and things like that from lessons that he would teach. Something so simple that you sit there and laugh, you'd be like, damn, I never thought about it. Yeah, apple trees don't eat apples.
Because they give the apples to other people.
Right.
I won't know what it fully feels like I won't, but my children will. Right? I may not know. I may have to struggle to get to a point to know how to relate in a healthy way because of everything that happened to me. But as much as I'll be able to prevent that trauma and that damage to roll down the line of my own, they'll have it a bit easier to know how to relate. And to me, that's the justice. That was something that was stolen from us. Why our families are broken. We understood family would be a different thing, and to me it's more about regaining that awareness. I think that's where the justice is.
Fatherhood is it's I see now, reflecting back, it's absolutely essential if you want to have an effective community. Father is absolutely important, and without it, a community, without a lack of fathers, the community is going to suffer at every level.
Fatherhood is important to maintain or try to sustain any level of Black excellence, because in order for us to be a community, we have to be whole. So the father and the mother has to be present. Right? The white man understand that, and that's why removing the father from the household was important for them. And we have to put the father back in the household.
Our community needs the community. So it's just not just the mother and the father. We need more leaders. We're against the odds, especially as a culture and a race. And we set back. So then the way the world is now, sometimes we set each other back.
Going forward, just be a father. Be present. And to be a father from what I see now, I didn't see this before, but what I see now is I add things to their life that their mother can't, right? And just my philosophy on this was like, you have these opposing forces, and not that a mother or father is opposing forces, but there are a difference. There's a difference to the two. And what the mother brings and what the father brings is necessary to help this individual be kind of complete. You know what I mean?
Black unity is a fear to white society. I wonder why. J. Edgar Hoover established COINTELPRO. He forbid the rise of a black messiah. And this is why I understand why many of you black men and black women don't stand up for one another. A lot of you are afraid. You are scared. But this group right here, we ain't afraid of nothing.
Is to not allow themselves to be tricked off the streets or tricked into a grave, right? Or tricked into a mental health facility. There's a lot of lies, and when you don't know who you are, somebody else will tell you, and you have to resist the urge to be around people who are not going to be an accurate reflection of who you are, and what you represent.
What you may think you know is not always the truth. So you just gotta find your niche. You gotta find what you're good at. Because a lot of us, like kids coming up in these inner cities, all we know is how to run streets. And so we don't know that there's so many things that are available to us that we can take advantage of and that could put us on a path to prosperity. Because with unity, support, and a community, we can be so much greater than what we think.
I would say, do your best to find someone that you trust. Hopefully, preferably a man. And it's nothing against women. It's just only, I seriously believe that at times only men could help men with these sorts of issues, to help work through them. Because you need another, and I wish I had, you need that male influence to walk alongside of you, someone that can hold you up when you're feeling down.
Find your drive and your truth. To continue to fight for it, to to work hard for. So trust those who show you positive light. Don't just not use drugs. That's not enough. You know, I tell them, go in the neighborhoods. Look what it's done to people. Look what it's done to your people. You know, look at your own family members. I'm sure you have some uncles or a brother or even a father that's an alcoholic or a drug addict. Or look what it's done to your own family members. Or just go outside and really look at the guys that are by the liquor store or in the corner. Just try to feel what. Don't just go by them and look at them. Just try to feel what it's like to be that person and know that that person started just like you at one time.
There ain't no limitations. We set the limitations. We create the narratives. And it's us. It's us. And the world needs it.
God first, man. You know, you put your higher power ahead of you, and he won't steer you wrong. Just let yourself be led. The best leaders know how to follow, when to follow, and who to follow. You know, so God first, man. God first will help you and bless you through everything.
If you really knew your power, if you really know, and there's no doubt, God didn't make any mistakes. You were born with power. And you have to find it, and you have to know it, and you have to understand it so that you know how to move in this world. Because otherwise, everyone else around you is always going to have the pitch on how they're going to give you something that you already got. Right? So understand how powerful you are. Don't ever give that up. And also understand that you are, and with all the ancestors that lived before you, if you go back to the year 1400, you would have had 2,000 different ancestors who had to come together for you to be born. All those stories, all those lives, all those contributions led to you. You're never alone. I'll leave it like that.